if you're smashing your bones with a hammer to make your face, and you're already hot. Some of these guys, I go, you're already hot. What are you doing? If that's what you're doing, or if it's all politics, or if you are trying to be so rich and that.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is a SotoCast. I'm John Soto. The Tim Dillon Show just came out on Saturday, as it always does, and we are going to be right smack in the middle of it somewhere. It's just a really interesting segment that I wanted to point out. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time to watch a whole bunch of different things, so I like to kind of just take a little piece somewhere in the middle or maybe towards the end that people haven't gotten to and highlight it a little bit because I think it's important for whatever reason, and you'll find out as we go along. Thank you so much. Take a look.
That's consuming your life, and you're not laughing with your friends, and you're not trying to meet someone. Like, these lives that people create, they suck. Truly, they're not good lives. You read about these people that are radicalized from one direction or the other. They're angry all the time, and they have all this purpose, and but none of it's to like have any fun. So everybody's trying to get rich and change the world, but no one's having any fun. I have a lot of fun. I do. I try, even though sometimes it's hard because my phone is tapped and there's people trying to kill me. And by the way, and I was texting Candace this morning, you know how insulting it's going to be when I find out how much they paid for me to get killed? Nothing. They're transferring, she thinks her, and I believe her, she found something that they transferred 1.5 million somebody. I don't know what's going on, but you know they're going to Venmo somebody $60 to hit me in the head? You know how insane that's going to be? They're going to Venmo $60 for somebody to just come up and hit me in the head. But I still try to have fun. You do small things that are fun. You don't need to solve the world's problems. I love dupe.
So he's going to get into it right here in the next segment. I just needed to get that joke in because it's pretty darn funny. Stay with us. If you can, please hit the subscribe button. That's all I need. If you want to like, that's cool. Share, cool. Comment, cool. Subscribe right now is what I need. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Well, not take care, but let's continue.
Thing with having friends and going out in real life, one of the reasons you want to do it is so that you can meet people you don't want to be like. Your friends have uncles. But my friend had this uncle, we called him Drunkle. He was a great guy. He had a chubby wife. They would drink and beat each other up. And he hung out with us all the time. He was drunk, and he was angry, and he smoked. And there's a lot of great things about him. But we said we don't want to be him. He lived in this basement apartment. Him and his wife get hammered and fall down. And as fun as it was, we said to ourselves, this is a problem. They were very fun people. They were good people, and they took us in and let us, drink and use drugs in their home. But they just, there was a really, really fat guy once in a limo, and we went to a strip club, and this really, really fat guy was like, when I get in that club, I'm going to fucking tear it up. And then he just slept. He fell asleep because when you're that big, his body's working so hard to just stay alive. He fell asleep in the strip club. In the limo before we got to the strip club. And then we all went outside to the limo, and he woke up on the way back to my friend's house where they were dropping everyone off. He had just slept the whole time in the limo, and he had never made it into the strip club. And we said to ourselves, that's tough. He was a good guy, but he was so big that his body was working so hard to just stay alive that he couldn't get into the strip club. He fell asleep in the limo. And we were in there a couple hours. He just slept in the limo. It's just this really, really, really big guy sleeping in the limo. And it's important for you to see things like that as a kid to go, I don't know if I want that. I don't want that as a life. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, but you go, I don't want that as a life. Like the drunk uncle would break up with the chick all the time. They'd have these screaming fights. She'd be banging on his door. They'd fight on the lawn. The neighbors would call the cops on him. And they were fun, but you would say, I can't live like that. Too much chaos. And that's why you need to go out. But I feel like I got to be honest, not to sound too dark, I just feel like that's not coming back. Like those real world experiences that are so important aren't coming back. Where, everybody's formative experiences now are all digital. They're all online. So people are just, again, smashing the face with the hammer, the looks maxing, the Bitcoin. I need to have all the money in Bitcoins. What young people do, I need all the money now. I want to drop ship. I want to have a Lamborghini. I want to live in Dubai. It's like, dude, relax. Be 19. Calm down. I mean, there's plenty of time in life for you to get involved in some scam. And it's like, you'll be around. Statistically, you'll be around to get in a scam at some point in your life that won't work out. You don't need to do it when you're 12. You don't need to be in a scam at 14 years old trying to drop ship and playing these games. Like, people are just chasing, and online puts it all out there. It's like, like all these coaches are always coaching people as to how to just make millions of dollars. And all these coaches do is drive around and have other people film them driving around in a Lamborghini. So, I mean, I don't even understand what the money is for at this point. And then all these young people are like, well, I got to make all this money so that someone can film me driving around in a Lamborghini. And then I don't understand. So what? I don't know. I mean, then you have a Lamborghini. Okay. I don't, is that all anyone wants? Is to just live in Miami and have a Lamborghini? It's like a horrible life. This is people that don't know anything. This is what you want when you're a 15-year-old. You want to have a Lamborghini and live in Miami. You think it's a good life? It's a terrible life. I know a lot of people that have it. It's like a terrible life. They live in like some white apartment that looks like they're living in a club. They upload photos of themselves on the terrace of that apartment, which is, are they paying for it? Who knows? There's a film crew that's always filming them go from room to room to room. And then they get in the Lamborghini and they go out to clubs every night. I mean, it sounds fun if you're 14. When I was 14, it's an amazing life. Why would that ever get old? Hot chicks or hot dudes or whatever, and there's a beach and you're in Miami. It's not great. I don't know one happy person that lives in Miami that has a Lamborghini. Not one. Not one person in Miami that's genuinely happy that has a $300,000 car in Miami that's really happy. It's, I mean, and again, it's not shitting on people that want to make money, but go do something you like. You got one life. You just want to make a bunch of money for what? To get some whore, some OnlyFans whore in Miami to ride around in a Lamborghini with you and do coke? Like, I understand that it seems great to be, you know, doing lines of Adderall at 2 o'clock in the morning, wondering if some whore is stealing from your Miami apartment. I understand that seems amazing. Is this whore stealing my watch in a Miami high-rise? I know that's what people want, but there's more to life. There's more to life than that, like a lot more. Truly, you'll be happier doing other things. You'll be happier doing other things with your time than that. I know that's the goal. That seems to be the goal of like every person that exists on the internet under 25 years old. They all want to live in Miami. They all want to have a Lamborghini, and they all want to wonder if an OnlyFans whore is stealing your watch at 2 o'clock in the morning. Is she going through the drawers? What is she looking for? If that's the life you want, and you want to go to the DJ, all these DJs, you go DJs playing, and I like these guys. I like John Summit. I like these people. Enough with the DJs and the crap. Enough. Enough with this Coachella and all this garbage. Enough with this shit. Enough. It's not a life. It's not a life. It is not a life to go to Coachella and dress up like an Indian and stand there in 98-degree weather, on like angel dust or whatever. I mean, they're not even doing angel dust. They'd be more interesting. I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're on shrooms. What about Molly? If they're on Molly, it's not a life. It's not a life to stand at a Stop with the concerts. It's another thing. Stop with the concerts. Enough with this crap. Stop with the concerts. Enough. It's not a life to go see live music. It's not a life with that, with these concerts. These drug addicts, they get out of jail, they put them right on stage, and you pay $120 to see some junkie with 15 children. Enough with the concerts. Stop. Stop with this. Every minute of the day, it's someone at a concert. No one has $1 to their name. No one owns anything. Not to sound like Ben Shapiro, but he might be right about that. Nobody has $1, and everybody's watching Billie Eilish pretend to sing for 3 hours. Stop. Get a life. Get a job. Truly. Stop with this crap. You're going to see a DJ. Enough with this shit. The bottle service, the Vegas, and the fights. Stop with the fights. Stop with this UFC. You don't have the money for that. Go get your own ass kicked in the streets where you live, where the government doesn't enforce the crime. You go get jumped somewhere if you got a passion for that. Stop going to UFC. Cut it out. It's not a life. It's not a life going to UFC. It's not a life. Sitting in the thing, the UFC fight. It's not a life. It is not a life. Not a life. Stop this shit. I see all this crap online, and these people just go from a Miami apartment to the UFC to a concert to see some junkie criminal, and you know what I mean? What is this? What is this? It's a collection of meaningless shit. It's a collection of meaningless horseshit experiences that mean nothing. Yeah, I saw John Summit at the day, then we went the UFC, then we went here, then we went there. It's nothing. There's no through line. It's nothing. What are your photos going to be when you're old? A photo of you at a day party and fucking at the Wynn? What is this?
Not to stop him, because it's just such an amazing rant, and I really wanted people to see it. But obviously, we're starting to boil down into what he's getting at, like what exactly. What he's saying, the core of a person, the core value of a person, what does it really mean to actually be happy? And the things that everybody's seeing online, the things that everybody's putting up online, posting and talking about, and so excited to go and visit here and do that, it doesn't mean anything in the end. It's a photograph on somebody's Instagram. That's all it is. What means things in the end is when you're, he doesn't really get to it, but when you have people, it's all about people. Whether it's friends, family, children, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, it's just people. It's people that you can actually try to have a good time with. and you can raise a family and have a dog and be happy. Happiness doesn't come from stuff or experiences. It come from a lifelong of experience with people in your life. But you know, that not to say you can't go to a concert, or you can't do this, or you can't go to a Broadway show. But for the vast majority of young people that I see, that's all it is to them, is just doing those things, getting those things done, getting in the reps of experiences. And it's sad. It's sad.
It's not a life. It isn't. It's a collection of things that look like a life from the outside. I'm telling you, and this is what the internet does. It gives you the idea that these things are life. Well, I have a life. I went to Coachella, and no, it's wrong. It's wrong. You think it's a life because it's a photo dump. You went to brunch, you had a pancake that some Asian talked about, and that's great. I like Asians, and I like what they're doing in the breakfast realm. But it's not the point. That's not the point. Oh, Tim, you have a pancake on your hey. I'm in a game that I didn't create. What I'm saying is this. The things you're doing are not a life. These random things you're doing that you're only doing because other people you know are doing them. Other people you know are doing the things that you are doing. Look, let me tell you something. You need to hear it.
He is just absolutely incredible. I mean the way that he hits the core of like our current society. I mean, it's an amazing rant. It actually goes on a little bit more. Like he tears it. You know, his hour goes by so fast, especially when you speed it up like I do. By the way, if that bothers you guys, let me know in the comments. I'll slow it back down. I just like getting through segment and not trying to run too long. But yeah, what's important? If you can't have kids, that sucks. But then have somebody to share your life with. I think in the previous segment, he's like, get a job, try to find somebody you like, hang out with them, walk your dog, have a cup of coffee, and just enjoy this amazing thing, right? That's what it is. I mean, we're in a pretty amazing place. I think that whether it's X or all of social media has kind of like tainted people's brains into thinking that we're living in some like hellscape of a society or hellscape of a time, or everything's falling apart, or it's probably hands down. If you're in America, you're in the best country in the world, probably one of the best times ever that we know of. Obviously, if there was like an ancient civilization that was pre what is that thing, pre-Younger Dryas or whatever, then all right, we don't know about that stuff, but for our personal recorded history, if you live in America right now, you could pretty much do whatever you want to do. It's got to be one of the greatest times to be alive. And people think that their lives are terrible because they're not at music concerts every other weekend, and they can't fly out to the Bahamas 3 times a year, and they haven't gone to Dubai yet, and they haven't. They're not in Miami, and they're not in a Lambo, and they're not hoarding Bitcoin. And he gets to that one point where he says, like, do you want to be the guy that's like, I think he talks about some guy that's like was fearing all the time that he was going to get kidnapped because of his Bitcoin. Like, do you really want to be the guy that's going to be your life? Like you're so well off that you're fearing like constantly people kidnapping you so they can torture you to get the passcode to your Bitcoin wallet. Is that what you really want? And of course not. But that's what a lot of young people, that's what a lot of people in general are being told and are being showed and are being influenced that that's what they should want. And I don't know. I think simple is better. It's easier. It's easier to obtain, and it's pretty satisfying once you settle in. It takes time. There's a lot of ups and downs, just like everybody's life, But as long as you have a plan and you have a proper trajectory, you can start it whenever you like. It may take a little bit longer. It may take some people longer, some people shorter. But if you have a good plan and you stick to it, you can get there. That's it. And that's what I've told all my kids, from oldest to youngest. I have kids who are 20 down to 5. and they see the life that my wife and I live, and it's not extravagant, but it's not, it took time to get where we are. I mean, we had a couple of kids in a one-bedroom apartment for quite a while, and now we have a really nice house, and we have the dogs, and we have kids, and we have the chickens, and we have ducks, and we have a lot of it's nice. It's nice, as Tim would say. It is a life. It is a life, and it's a nice life. And we don't go on many vacations. We usually travel once a year to go see her mom and dad. Excuse me. But yeah, we're not flying around the world. We're not running to concerts, and we're not doing all these crazy things. But it's a really good life, and it's not necessary to do all those crazy things you see on Instagram. Every now and again, you can pick one and do it. That's cool, but it's just an experience. It's not. It's not a life. Like exactly what he's saying. It's so dead on. It is so dead on what he's saying. And that's why I like bringing these things to light, because, he's going to bring it to light a lot more than I am, because this will get a couple of views and, his will get 100,000. But I still, whoever wasn't going to see him and now can see him, that makes me happy, because he's spectacular in his analysis. And the way he comes across it he's just so funny. And it really hits, the issue, really hits it hard. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. 6283 Talk on the X if you want to follow me on the X. I'm John Soto. Please hit the subscribe button. This is SotoCast. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.